boiling points of alcohol, and also I told you the solubility of alcohols basically, right? Okay, and also we were discussing, and also we have started chemical properties of alcohols, in which I told you the first reaction that was combustion reaction. Okay, I told you combustion reaction is the same as alkane and alkene, like uh, as we did for alkane, that when we have complete combustion, complete combustion means that we have an excess of oxygen. Okay, so ultimately as a result, carbon dioxide and water would be formed. And for an incomplete combustion, we have carbon monoxide and water. The same thing, but what's the difference? Only dioxide and monoxide. Okay, and also alcohols are good fuels. They release more energy. They release more energy, right? So yes, and also I told you, if the examiner would ask after having the combustion, that is incomplete combustion, if you have solid product, if you have solid product, so solid product means that you can say carbon solid would be produced. Okay, carbon solid would be produced if they say that the solid product is going to be formed. The solid product is going to be formed. Okay, so today we are going to discuss preparation of alcohols. Preparation of alcohols. Preparation of alcohols. Okay. So we can prepare alcohol from alkene as well, as we did in the chemical properties of alkene. As we did in the chemical properties of alkene, that we have added water molecule in the presence of phosphoric acid, which was acting as a catalyst, if you remember. So from alkene, okay, from alkene, if we have from alkene, let's suppose I have C double bond C, then H, then H, then this, and I'm adding water molecule. This is called hydration. This is called hydration. Okay. So H and OH would be attached. H and OH would be attached. So this is called ethanol. This is called ethanol from ethene. Okay. From ethene. और मैंने आपको कैटलिस्ट भी बताया था, अगर आपको याद हो, दैट वाज H3PO4 and 350 डिग्री सेल्सियस टेम्परेचर और 200 मेगा पास्कल प्रेशर. तो इतना इस कंडीशंस को अगर आप यूज कर रहे हो, सो अल्टीमेटली your alkene would be converting into an alcohol. Okay, so reagents and condition, you must know reagent and condition for this reaction. Reagent reagent and condition for this reaction. Reagent and condition means you need to know the catalyst as well. So H3PO4, okay, which acts as a catalyst, and 350 degrees Celsius temperature. and this much pressure. Okay, and this much pressure. Okay. Okay, and we have another way to prepare alcohol, that is from aldehyde. That is from aldehyde. So we can prepare alcohol from aldehyde. So we need a reducing agent. We need a reducing agent. So reducing agent is reducing agent is LiAlH4. LiAlH4 in dry ether. LiAlH4 in dry ether. Okay, this is strong reducing agent. This is a strong reducing agent. Or you can also say NaBH4, but remember that this is a weak reducing agent. This is a weak reducing agent. And LiAlH4 is a strong reducing agent. A strong reducing agent. तो अगर आपके पास कोई एल्डिहाइड हुआ, okay, let's suppose I have this. I have this aldehyde. This is aldehyde, and I'm going to reduce it. I'm going to reduce it. Reduction means addition of hydrogen. Reduction means addition of hydrogen and removal of oxygen. Addition of hydrogen and removal of oxygen. So you will see that alcohol would be formed. And you know, this alcohol is a primary alcohol. This alcohol is a primary alcohol. Okay. So if you need to prepare any primary alcohol, so you can reduce aldehyde. You can reduce aldehyde. Okay. But remember, from aldehyde, only the primary alcohol would be produced. From aldehyde, only the primary alcohol would be produced. And if you need to prepare any secondary alcohol, or you can say tertiary alcohol, let's suppose I can also reduce ketone. I can also reduce ketone. So from ketone, from ketone is this CH3, C double bond O, and then CH3. This is propanol, a simplest ketone. This is propanol, a simplest ketone, which contain 3 carbon atoms. So if you are going to reduce it, so remember, you are supposed to use a strong reducing agent. You are supposed to use a strong reducing agent. Okay. So you will see that this alcohol this alcohol would be this alcohol would be produced, that is secondary alcohol. So it was 1 degree alcohol. 1 degree means primary, and this is your secondary alcohol, like 2-degree alcohol. 2-degree alcohol. Okay, simple. It's very simple. This is 2-degree alcohol. Okay, we can also reduce carboxylic acid into alcohol. From from carboxylic acid, from carboxylic acid, from carboxylic acid. Okay, so let's suppose I have ethanoic acid. I have ethanoic acid, that is this CH3 C double bond O and OH. So, so first of all, you are going to reduce it by using Li in dry ether. So first of all, it would be converting
Sir,
into,
what is dry ether?
basically this is a solvent, because in this you have aluminium metal that is from group 1, और आपको पता है कि group 1 metals are very reactive, तो कहीं ऐसा ना हो कि it should react with your solvent. So to prevent this, we are going to have a dry ether. Ether is a solvent and the condition must be dry. There should not be any moisture. Otherwise, it would explode. Rather than it would react with your carboxylic acid to reduce it into the alcohol, it would explode in the presence of lithium, that is metal from group 1. So in order to provide this reaction, we are using as dry ether. Okay? समझ आ रही बात?
Yes.
So first of all, aldehyde would be produced, and further reduction would give you this alcohol, which is also a primary alcohol, which is also a primary alcohol. Okay. Okay, and we can also prepare alcohol from from fermentation. We can also prepare alcohol from fermentation. Fermentation तो hopefully तुम लोगों को पता ही होगा. Fermentation. Fermentation means K, you have alcohol, sorry, glucose, that is C6H12O6. Okay, and you are going to use yeast, which is a biological catalyst, also known as enzyme, which would increase the rate of reaction, and as a result you will see ethanol in the product, and also some carbon dioxide would be released. Okay, and remember, this reaction is exothermic. This reaction is exothermic. So what are the reagents and conditions? What are the reagents and conditions? Reagents and conditions. So so number one, okay, you should take yeast, which is an enzyme. And enzymes are living organisms. Enzymes are living organisms, so they need some special conditions, like they need a mild temperature. Let's suppose if you are going to provide more than 35 degrees Celsius, so enzyme would die. It would not work. It would not work. So if the enzyme would die, so your reaction would be slower, because it would not be acting as a catalyst. So the temperature should be the temperature The temperature should be 30 degrees Celsius, or there should be anaerobic condition. Anaerobic condition. Anaerobic condition. Anaerobic means that the air should be absent. There should not be any air. You know why this is so? You know why this is so? If you have an air, so जो आपका glucose है, it would be combusted. I don't want to have a combustion products. I want to ferment it. So I need to use special conditions which are suitable for fermentation. That's why I'm giving these conditions. Otherwise, if you're not going to have these conditions, so you cannot expect that you would be having any sort of alcohol. So this is ethanol. This is ethanol. This is ethanol. This is ethanol. And let's suppose कि मैं कहता हूँ if there is no anaerobic condition, if there is no anaerobic condition, यानी कि एयर है उस जगह, anaerobic condition ना हो, if there is no any anaerobic condition, so glucose will oxidize. Glucose will oxidize, remember. So to prevent oxidation, anaerobic condition should be there. So there are a lot of methods to prepare alcohol. So you can use any one of them. Examiner would be asking multiple methods, so you can tell, okay? Or, and then we have chemical reactions of alcohol. Chemical reactions. Then we have chemical reactions of alcohols. Chemical reactions. Chemical reactions of alcohols. Chemical reaction of alcohols. Okay. Chemical reaction may we would be studying K. Let's suppose I have alcohol and I want to convert this into alkene again. So means first of all alcohol to alkene. Alcohol to alkene. Alcohol to alkene. Alcohol to alkene. This is also known as dehydration. This is also known as dehydration. Dehydration of alcohols. Dehydration of alcohols, right? Okay. So अगर आप dehydration करना चाहते हो, so again I would say कि you need some reagents and conditions. You need some reagents and conditions. Okay. So dehydrating agent should be used. Dehydrating agent is the one which removes water, which absorbs water from alcohol. which absorbs water from alcohol. So automatically, if you are going to use any dehydrating agent, that is sulfuric acid. So ultimately, your alcohol would be converting into alkene. Simple. It's very simple. It's very simple. Okay. So and concentrated sulfuric acid is needed. Concentrated sulfuric acid is needed. Remember, okay? Concentrated sulfuric acid is needed. So I'm taking uh, this alcohol CH3 and then OH, then H, then again CH3. So so this is going to be produced. This is going to be produced, if you can see this. As a result of this, byproducts would also be produced. Carbon dioxide, water, sulfur dioxide. So, these are inorganic products. These are what? Inorganic products. These are inorganic products. Inorganic products. These are inorganic products. Okay. So your main product is this. Your main product is this, that you have produced alkene. That you have produced alkene. There is another possibility. There is another possibility. And also remember, uh, on adjacent carbons the water would be removed. On adjacent carbons. So let's suppose I'm going to give you this. I'm going to give you this compound. You can see this: C, then OH, then CH3, then CH3, and then CH3. Okay. So this OH and this H can be removed. This OH and this H can be removed. This OH and this H can be removed. So it depends upon you. But the water would be released. Ultimately, the water would be released. It should be dehydrated. When it is going to be dehydrated, so obviously many alkenes would be produced. So one of the alkene is this double bond C, then CH3, and then CH3. So this is your possible alkene. This is your possible alkene. Remember, okay? This is your possible alkene. Or what are the reagents and conditions for this reaction? What are the reagents and conditions for this reaction? So remember, reagents and conditions. Reagents and conditions. Reagents and conditions. So H2SO4 concentrated, okay, slash Al2O3, which is also a dehydrating agent, okay. So you can use one of these, okay, which are dehydrating agent, okay. And along with sulfuric acid, this much temperature is also needed. So as a result of this, you will have your alkene. Okay. So let's suppose you have this compound, which is this on the ring On the ring you have OH. On the ring you have OH like this. OH. Okay. So I'm going to dehydrate this alcohol. So we have two possibilities to prepare alkene. We have two possibilities to prepare alkene if you are going to dehydrate this. One of the possible product is that I'm going to use double bond over here, and I'm going to use double bond over here. Okay, we have two possibilities because this is your skeletal structure. Hydrogen should not be shown, but let's suppose for you I'm going to show these hydrogen atoms. So you can remove this water and you can remove this water. Ultimately, water is formed by the reaction of H and OH. So you have to remove OH from first carbon and you have to remove hydrogen from the next carbon so that it can make H2O and your alcohol should be dehydrated. That's it. Okay. Or or so there are so there are two possible products. Okay. So let me write it down that K draw draw two possible draw two possible products. Draw two possible products. Okay. uh, and also, if I'm going to give you this structure, if I am going to give you the same structure, let's suppose the same structure, but with this structure I have OH. With this structure, I have OH on that carbon atom, and along with this, I have this carbon as well. Like we have two carbon atoms. The first one is this, and another one is this. Okay. So, what do you think? कि हमारे पास इन द प्रोडक्ट साइड एक अल्कोहल बनेगा या दो अल्कोहल्स बनेंगे लाइक वी हैव ओनली वन पॉसिबिलिटी और वी हैव द टू पॉसिबिलिटीज जैसे पहले की थी पहले ट्राई करो देन आई वुड से कि व्हाट शुड बी प्रोड्यूस्ड फास्ट हाँ जी क्या कहते हो क्या पॉसिबल प्रोडक्ट हो सकती है टू और वन टू और वन चलो जी मैं बताता हूँ जरा मैच करना कि तुम लोग भी ऐसे ही सोच रहे हो सो I can remove this OH and this, sorry, this hydrogen. So I can make double bond over there. I can make double bond over there, just like that. Okay, ये मेरा double bond आ गया. So this is the first possibility. This is the first possibility. Okay, this is the first possibility. So what do you think? What do you think? Okay, can I do this? What do you think? Okay, can I do this? Okay, जो है यस, कि मैं इसका OH और इसका H रिमूव कर दूं, इसका OH और इसका H रिमूव कर दूं, लाइक आई मीन टू से कि मैं इसकी बात कर रहा हूँ कि मैंने यहाँ से I am going to remove this double bond and I am going to apply the double bond over here. तो क्या कोई वैलेंसी तो मिसमैच नहीं हो रही है कि आई हैव डन मोर देन 4 bonds, कहीं ऐसा तो नहीं हो रहा? सो लेट मी काउंट दिस. Let's suppose this is hydrogen, this is your skeletal structure. So 1, then 2, then 3, then 4. So this carbon is okay. This carbon is okay. If you're going to count this carbon atom, 1, 2, 3, 4. So this carbon is also okay. So remember, आपको स्ट्रक्चर ऐसा बनाना है कि you have to fulfill the valencies of other elements as well. So ये पोर्शन थोड़ा सा इट्स क्वाइट ट्रिकी, यू नो. सो यू नीड टू टेक केयर कि किस तरह से आप कौन सा हाइड्रोजन को और कौन से OH को यू आर गोइंग टू रिमूव, यू आर गोइंग टू रिमूव. ओके. सो see this structure, see this के I'm going to give you this structure, okay, but with some changes, with some changes. Let's suppose this is your structure, this is your structure. So can you tell me ke how many possibilities I should have, how many possibilities I should have? Yes. हाँ जी, चलो मैं बताता हूँ अब. सो in the first part, in the first part, okay, let's suppose I'm taking this structure, or ultimately I'm going to remove this OH and this hydrogen. तो डबल बॉन्ड मैं यहाँ बना दूंगा, that's it. But if you are going to take another condition, if you are going to make another structure, and if you are thinking that this is also the possibility, तो ये देखिएगा जरा. I'm going to remove this double bond and I'm going to make the double bond over there. So this is not possible. This structure is not possible. This structure is not possible. अगर आप पूछोगे क्यों, so this carbon made made 5 bonds. This carbon made 5 bonds, which is not possible. Which is not possible. Carbon can only make 4 bonds. तो भाई देख लेना बनाने से पहले कि is this possible structure or not. तो that's why sometime hydration is possible and sometime hydration is not possible. Okay. So iska khayal karna. And also let's suppose I'm going to give you this structure. Okay, you have see this. This is the structure. CH3 and then CH3 and then CH3, and on this carbon atom you have OH, and the two hydrogen atoms are here, and you need to dehydrate this alcohol. So can you tell me what would be the product?
Sir, 2,2-dimethyl propene.
Oh, okay. अच्छा, और कोई? और कोई? हाँ जी। यस, यस, यस। हु इज एस यार? हु इज एस? बता दो जल्दी से। समी, तुम तो नहीं हो समी? शाफे, शुक्र है। ओके। ओके शाफे। अभी मैं रिमूव कर दूँ। यस इर्तजा, क्या कहती हो? क्या प्रोडक्ट होनी चाहिए? उस्मान, 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 क्या कहते हो उस्मान? यस।
Yes, sir.
क्या प्रोडक्ट होनी चाहिए इसकी?
Sir, I don't think it's possible because the valency of the other carbon is fulfilled.
Yes, hydration is not possible. Hydration is not possible for this क्योंकि on the adjacent carbon, on the adjacent carbon, there is no any hydrogen. On the adjacent carbon, there is no any hydrogen. Okay, so on the adjacent carbon hydrogen होना चाहिए. If there is no hydrogen, so hydration is not possible. So the dehydration is not possible. So the dehydration is not possible. Remember, there should be hydrogen on adjacent carbon. There should be hydrogen on adjacent carbon. तो इस स्ट्रक्चर के लिए hydration is not possible until or unless I have given sulfuric acid concentrated, and also I have provided some sort of heat, but still there is no reaction. क्यों? कि along with OH, hydrogen should also be removed to make water, but unfortunately there is no hydrogen on the adjacent carbon. All are alkyl groups, CH3, CH3, CH3. So that's why dehydration is not possible. Okay, देखना पड़ेगा भाई, देखना पड़ेगा, अंधाधुंध काम नहीं करना होता है. Okay, so this is what about the chemical reactions of like alcohols. And okay, then we generally do oxidation of alcohols. Okay, we generally do oxidation of alcohols. So let me tell you regarding oxidation of alcohols. Okay, so oxidation oxidation of alcohols. Oxidation means addition of oxygen. Oxidation means addition of oxygen and removal of hydrogen. And removal of hydrogen. Okay. So we have three types of alcohols. We have three types of alcohols. I told you in the first class of alcohol, primary, secondary, and tertiary. Okay, primary, secondary, and tertiary. Right? Okay. So obviously we need oxidizing agent. Obviously we need oxidizing agent. So I told you in alkene that oxidizing agent is हमारे पास दो होते हैं oxidizing agents. We have two oxidizing agents. Oxidizing agents. Oxidizing agent, that is K2, that is K2 Cr2, K2Cr2O7, K2Cr2O7, which is dichromate, which is potassium dichromate. Okay, but it should be acidified. But it should be acidified. I told you, okay, acid is used as a catalyst. What would be an observation if you are going to use this? So, observation. Observation would be orange to green. Observation would be orange to green. Orange to green. This is your observation. If your oxidizing agent has changed its color, so means that the reaction is done. And if there is not, so means that there was no reaction. Like in this case के ऊपर आपने जब उसकी dehydration की, but you haven't got any of the product, so means that there is no reaction. So you're going to see the color of the reaction mixture in which you have added oxidizing agent. That was orange initially. So ultimately after the reaction it would be changing into green. If there is a color change, so the reaction is possible, and otherwise there is no reaction. Otherwise there is no reaction. So we have three types of alcohols. So remember, okay, अगर आप oxidation of primary alcohols, oxidation of primary alcohols. So primary alcohol की oxidation कराने से you would be getting first aldehyde. Oxidation of 1 degree alcohol. Oxidation of 1 degree alcohol means के primary alcohol की अगर आप oxidation कराओगे, let's suppose primary alcohol is this CH3, then COH, then H, then H. तो इसकी oxidation कराने से first of all आप लो oxidizing agent, that is this slash H plus, which means that this is acidified, which means that this is acidified. Okay, this is acidified. So first of all you would be getting aldehyde, you would be getting LD aldehyde. You would be getting aldehyde, and aldehyde would be just like that. KCH3 C double bond O and then H. This is your aldehyde, and this was your primary alcohol. But remember, the condition was heat and distilled. The condition was heat and distilled. This is known as partial oxidation. This is known as partial oxidation. Partial oxidation. लेकिन अगर उसने आपको कंडीशन दूसरी दे दी, दूसरी बोले तो आई एम गोइंग टू यूज द सेम रिएक्शन बट you can use the different condition just like that. भाई देखो मैंने फिर प्राइमरी अल्कोहल लिया है बट एट दिस टाइम वो कहता है कि दिस इज नॉट हीट एंड डिस्टिल्ड. दिस मीन्स दैट कि अब आप उसको करो हीट अंडर रिफ्लक्स. हीट अंडर रिफ्लक्स. हीट अंडर रिफ्लक्स. ये ऐसी हीटिंग होती है जब तुम कंडेंसर लगा के हीट कर रहे होते हो. ओके. सो हीट अंडर रिफ्लक्स. इफ यू आर गोइंग टू हैव हीट अंडर रिफ्लक्स, so you would be getting carboxylic acid. देख रहे हो तुम लोग, देख रहे हो डिफरेंस. How much the difference is, carboxylic acid is going to be produced. Okay, carboxylic acid. Done? Okay. Let's suppose I have secondary alcohol. Let's suppose I have secondary alcohol rather than primary. So what would happen? Secondary alcohol. Secondary alcohol is CH3, then C, then OH, then CH3, then H. So again conditions are same. ऑक्सीडाइजिंग एजेंट भी सेम है, हीट अंडर रिफ्लक्स है, हीट अंडर रिफ्लक्स है, तो दिस इज गोइंग टू बी प्रोड्यूस्ड. पता है क्या बना ये? कीटोन. कीटोन. कीटोन which cannot be further oxidized. which cannot be further oxidized. जबकि पिछली इक्वेशन में when you got aldehyde, तो I have further oxidized it. So you got carboxylic acid. You got what? Carboxylic acid. लेकिन जो आपका कीटोन है ना, it cannot be further oxidized. Further oxidation is not possible. फर्दर ऑक्सीडाइज नहीं हो सकता यार ये, तो इसको यहीं स्टॉप कर देना. जस्ट स्टॉप इट. जस्ट स्टॉप इट. फर्दर ऑक्सीडेशन इज नॉट पॉसिबल. सही हो गया जी. तो प्राइमरी अल्कोहल से पहले एल्डिहाइड बना, एल्डिहाइड फर्दर ऑक्सीडाइज हो गया, कार्बोक्सिलिक एसिड बना दिया, और व्हेन यू गॉट सेकेंडरी अल्कोहल, सो सेकेंडरी अल्कोहल पहले ऑक्सीडाइज हुआ कीटोन में. जब मैंने उसको फर्दर ऑक्सीडाइज करने की कोशिश की, सो इट कुडंट ऑक्सीडाइज, क्योंकि देखो ऑक्सीडेशन के लिए यू नीड टू रिमूव हाइड्रोजन. देयर इज नो हाइड्रोजन ओवर हियर, देयर इज नो हाइड्रोजन ओवर देयर. दैट्स द रीजन कि हम इसको फर्दर ऑक्सीडाइज नहीं कर सकते हैं. देन आई हैव oxidation of tertiary alcohol. So tertiary alcohol is this. This is your tertiary alcohol. Let's suppose CH3, then I have OH, CH3, then CH3. I'm going to oxidize it. Okay. I'm taking the same thing. Oxidizing agent change नहीं करना है आपने. तो दिस इज स्लैश H प्लस, हीट कर रहे हैं हम इसे, हीट अंडर रिफ्लक्स कर रहे हैं। अच्छा, एक और भी रीजन है रिफ्लक्स करने का, देखो ये ऑर्गेनिक सब्सटेंसेस है, दे शुड नॉट बी, दे शुड नॉट बी, यू कैन से, we should not give the direct flame to them, क्योंकि they are highly flammable, they catch fire. So in order to avoid this, so you are going to use reflux. तो ये reflux में ऐसी हीट होती है कि ये थ्रू आउट द वाटर बाथ से हम इसको हीट कर रहे होते हैं, and this is the uniform heating. Let's suppose you are having a round bottom flask and you have just put your round bottom flask in the hot bath. So this is called reflux, and also the condenser is fitted. So no reaction, no reaction. I am saying that for oxidation, hydrogen should be there so that I can remove it, because oxidation is the removal of hydrogen. So there is no any hydrogen on this carbon atom. That's why again the oxidation is not possible. So in short, if I'm going to summarize it, from primary alcohol, aldehyde is produced, and also the carboxylic acid. And from secondary alcohol, the ketone is produced. But when you talk third degree alcohol, 3 degree alcohol, tertiary alcohol, so you got nothing. Oxidation is not possible. Okay, तो इसको हम यहीं तक रखते हैं. Then inshallah we will continue to we would be doing the past paper ultimately. ये almost जो है वो हमारा खत्म हो गया है.